Hi guys, this is AruvaChan, and today I'm going to be testing out Arteeza's metallic gouache colors. I don't know why I had a problem saying that, but I'm trying out the metallic gouache colors, and I already have them all set in my palette, so I'm just going to start swatching them. So the cool thing about gouaches, so I've actually used gouache before. The cool thing about gouache is you can use them wet or dry. And if you use them dry, they're really like acrylics. So I'm going to swatch them dry and then drag them wet. And if you don't understand what I mean, I will explain that as I go. So I've only ever used, I guess, normal gouache. And what gouache is, it is a kind of paint that is half watercolor and half acrylic, essentially. That's not exactly what it is, but that's how people explain it. It's more on the side of watercolor if you add water, but more on the side of acrylic if you add nothing, or if you just swatch it yourself. So the first time I think I used gouache was when I was probably 17 or 18. I had no idea what it was. I just bought it from the art store because I thought it looked like a watercolor, and I decided to use that. So I watched about one video on how to use gouache before I dove straight into using gouache myself, and I genuinely really liked them. I think they're a very nice paint, and they're very like simple to use. Like if you are an acrylic artist and you're branching into, say, watercolors or different mediums, this is a very good brand. These are very simple to use, very shiny. I'm having to use a lot more pigment to water than I would use a normal watercolor, so it actually retains that sparkle. So the piece that I'm going to be painting today was kind of inspired by an album cover. I think it's an album cover. It's actually, it's the cover of a YouTube video for the band, and the song is called Community Gardens. And it's super cute and has this really cute art style that I kind of wanted to imitate, but also make my own. So I really kind of just went for it, and I really like it. And I don't know who the artist is, but their art style was just super cute, and I wanted to do something like that, but in my own style. So that's how I kind of got this. I added so many details. And these pigments are super bright. They're so bright. It is a bright orangey, like a peachish orange. And it's just so cute. Oh. I don't know what, like, orange and yellow are some of my favorite colors. Absolutely. But yeah, these are, like I said, these are Arteeza, and these are gouache. Still very easy to use, very, like, similar to watercolor. They're not hard to spread at all, and I can definitely see the shine. I don't know if you can see it too well in the recording, but I can see it very well. I definitely think I'm going to have favorite colors after this, because these colors are actually really cute. Like the pinks and purples, and I'm sure this blue is going to look really cute too. They're all so pretty. I love these metallic colors. I'm never sure how much water you add when you gouache though, so I've just been like dipping my brush in for the past few. Maybe during the painting I'll have figured it out, but by the time you see this, it'll be done completely, so I won't have the chance to actually experiment. I just took these out of the package, and I'm like, alright, let's do it. These are actually super smooth. And I'm not sure what kind of paper you need to use, but I'm currently using watercolor paper. I'm assuming that that's fine. I haven't had any trouble with it yet, but I've had a lot of art trouble lately. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've been making like different videos, and I've been trying to do different things because I just don't enjoy the process anymore. Like, I'm not enjoying making certain things, and I'm not enjoying, painting certain things or doing digital artwork, or I've been trying to do live streams. Like, I've been very different, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Like, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I know all the people who comment like, oh, we love to hear you ramble, or, we're always here just listening. I'm really appreciative of you guys, and knowing that you will still be here while I struggle through this weird art funk definitely helps. And being able to experiment with different art supplies, courtesy of Arteza, super helps me, because I literally have to get out of my comfort zone. And I have to, experiment with new things, and I don't get the chance to fall back into the same old, song and dance, because I'm constantly having to create new stuff and use different supplies and have to figure out different ways to do things, and it's actually been really nice, and I actually genuinely really like all of the, paints and pencils. I've found myself doing lots and lots of different things. I recently put out an animation, and that was super fun to make, but now I'm on to the next thing, and like, it's really cool, and it's like a lot of it's like helping me actually get over whatever this art funk that I was in. But I definitely think this isn't something a lot of YouTubers really talk about, but YouTube is a very hard game to play. And it is sort of a game. Like, you have to continue to be, top ranked or whatever to even get noticed by certain places, and to be top ranked, so to say, you have to continuously be making videos, and as an artist, it's super hard to make videos that you consider good, because your art that you're putting out isn't exactly your best artwork. And I know that I may have said this before, but I feel like a lot of my art is just cheap versions of maybe, better art that I've been doing. But with these, like, with actually having to sit down and produce stuff, I feel like I'm actually doing okay, and I'm taking my time and having to actually focus, and instead of spending an hour and a half making a painting on Photoshop or something, I spend 3 or 4 hours making a natural painting with more traditional stuff and styles. Working with traditional artwork, I don't know if I got that. Working with traditional paints and doing a traditional painting has definitely changed a lot of the ways that I think about making art. And as an artist, this is a very important kind of social moment where I decide what I enjoy and I go after that. Like, I am actively seeking art and seeking to do art that I am actively enjoying. And this is a very hard step, especially for younger artists, myself included, because for the longest time I grew up on digital artwork and making digital things. Like, it's so much easier to paint in Photoshop or Paint Tool Sci or whatever program you have, because it is just, if you make a mistake, you can undo, and if you want to blend something, all you have to do is use the blur tool or the water brush tool. But doing actual traditional artwork with paper and pencils and paints, you really cannot mess up. And it's become very apparent to me that I do use a lot of, quick, easy ways out when I am doing digital artwork, versus the time that I actually spend trying to make my artwork look presentable and actually to the way I like when I'm using traditional. And I found that using traditional paints, it is a lot easier for me to detail, to build on. I genuinely enjoy the feeling of painting. Like, you don't get that from digital artwork. And the fact that I have, somebody who's willing to sponsor me to try out these paints is incredible. But I definitely think it's a different feeling than when you're just flicking your wrist when you're drawing on your tablet. And there's nothing against tablets. Like, I don't have anything against tablets. I loved doing digital art for so long, but
switching to a more traditional mindset has definitely opened my eyes a little bit with how lazy I was. And if you notice, I have so much detail going into this picture because I've spent so much time trying to improve this picture, where if I was doing a picture digitally, like if I had taken the same idea, same concept, and thrown it into a digital drawing, I would not have spent this much time or cared enough to actually try and make this a, picture like this. Now, that's the one good thing about actually painting is you have to actually spend the time working on and trying to improve on the picture itself. You don't have any cheats. I don't have any stamp tools. I don't have any designs. I don't have any, brushes that are shaped like leaves. I have nothing to help me except my brain and reference pictures. So it does fully put you into a different mindset when you're painting like this. And you have to try and think of different ways to improve your art. Like, I know, for one thing, I have to paint very lightly in certain areas if I want to keep them white. This isn't so much a problem with the gouache set, but I definitely, I learned that when I was using the watercolor set. I have to keep areas white or they will never be white again. So keeping this mindset, I have definitely changed some of the tactics that I've used when I am painting, and it's freeing in a way because I have to follow certain rules. I have to follow the rules, and I know exactly what the rules are. Like, I can't use white paint because it just won't show up as well as if I left the canvas white. Whereas if I am digitally drawing, I can. And it's not like a big deal if I mess up or if I need to add a little highlight. This kind of thing is very important for me, and it definitely improves the way I make art. I definitely think my traditional things are becoming more and more detailed, more vibrant, more colorful, more entertaining just in themselves. Whereas my digital were, they were flat and I didn't spend any time on them, and I essentially just did the bare minimum. And I didn't really care how the product came out as long as it was done. So this is a huge thing for me, where I actually, this painting itself, I spent over 4 hours painting this. And at the end, I wasn't even sure if I was done, but I decided, yes, this is most likely the best it's going to be. I don't want to add any more, and I don't want it to be any different. But I definitely think this is a great mindset to be in for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this kind of painting, I do have a few more videos on that. If you like this brand of gouache, and if you're interested in buying some gouache paints, these are really inexpensive paints, and I'll actually leave a link down below that you guys can click on to look at them. And I have a discount code, which is AruvaChan and then the number 2. So if you guys are interested in trying out a paint, or if you want paper or something, feel free to use that, and it'll give you 10% off. Thank you guys so much. If you like this, leave a like. It does help me, so I know that you guys are interested, and subscribe. Bye!